Someone asked me the other day, Denise, how did you become a holistic healer? Well, to really answer that, I'm going to have to share something with you that's personal and deeply meaningful to me. It's the story of how one day changed everything. And so, hang on to your hats and glasses, because here we go. Episode 1 of How the Hell I Became a Healer. In 2017, my nephew Colin was in college. He was coming down for a few days on spring break. We always had fun stuff to do, like trekking in the mountains, hiking, surfing, or just hanging out at the beach. I planned a day down at Dana Point. The surf was flat, so we decided to rent some stand-up paddleboards, maybe do some skateboarding, grab some fish tacos or something for dinner, whatever he felt up for. We started out on what we thought was going to be a fun weekend here in SoCal. But we never got those fish tacos. After SUP, we went skateboarding. After about 10 minutes, the boardwalk turned into a bike path and continued. A few minutes later, I said, Colin, you know what? I think I'm done. If you want to keep going, I'll wait for you back at the beach. And so we split up. End of tape. That's all I remember. I woke up in the hospital the next day with no idea how I got there. I woke up in this fog. I heard voices off in the distance, as if in a dream. I heard them asking me if I remembered what had happened. No. Did I know where I was? No. My eyes fluttered open to the hospital room and the people anxiously waiting for me. Colin told me later when he came back, there was a group of people standing around a woman sprawled on the ground in a pool of blood. He was like, that kind of looks like my aunt. And then, oh wait, oh God, that is my aunt, oh my God. Paramedics were on their way. I had been knocked unconscious. In the hospital room, my brother Scott had flown down from the Bay Area. My parents had driven out from Palm Springs. The voices I heard belonged to two doctors in the room. They asked what I remembered about the accident. I couldn't remember anything. I had amnesia. This was the biggest injury in my life. I had a TBI, traumatic brain injury. I had a cut where they had stapled my head shut to stop the bleeding. I had a broken collarbone, broken ribs. I had whiplash in my neck. I had injured my shoulder really, really badly, and I had these huge bruises up and down my forearms. I was in the hospital for 5 days, and once released, there was no way I could get home on my own. Colin drove my car home, and my parents drove me home, and I had to figure this out. How do I move forward? My parents stayed with me for a week until I could cook some food, eat, and shower. I thought that was good enough. I needed to start doing things on my own. My mom was worried, but I was sure I was going to be fine. But the reality was there were a lot of things that were not fine. I couldn't drive. I couldn't go to work. I got exhausted just trying to watch or listen to things. I couldn't be in loud environments. My left arm was in a sling. I couldn't use it for anything. The pain in my left shoulder was agonizing. I felt weird if I tried to walk for distance. I had so little strength I felt like I would pass out if I just tried to go to the grocery store. I needed to get better to get back to work. How was I going to do this? After my parents left, the shock of what happened finally hit me, and I just put my head in my hands and cried. So that concludes the first episode of How the Hell Did I Become a Healer? Episode 2 is going to be the recovery. I was determined to get better, but how? It took a lot of searching and a lot of hard work, but I learned what worked and what didn't for healing sports injuries. And a surprise, a cool new thing for how to navigate life's ups and downs. I'll tell you all about it when I see you here next time on Beach City Healing.